I found another 2022 Ram 5500. This one is a crew cab with a Laramie trim. I have never seen one of these in person because they're just so hard to find. But this is spoken for, and I was going to see if I can come back here maybe, but I'm not even going to ask because they're already spoken for. But this truck has the Laramie, has the chrome front bumper, and you could get this painted, I believe. I'll build this truck for you online really quickly, but love the painted fender flares. Looks so beefy. If Ram builds a 3500 with the wide front, that would just be game over. It looks so good. I mean, the Fords look equally as better. I think the Ford dually bed looks the best. But wow, check out that front wide track. This truck does have the 19.5-inch wheels. They probably pretty much come standard when you get a Laramie, and I'll show that to you guys on the window sticker here in a second. But the suspension is a lot different on this truck than what you would see on a Ram 3500, and that's pretty much what it looks like there. Have that different design for the radius arm, has like a coilover design for the suspension, and let's look at all the hardware here too. It's just really beefy. And yeah, I mean, this truck, believe it or not, is 4x2. I guess, you know, in these southern states, they just option the trucks this way. I mean, I personally, again, I wouldn't buy a truck without four-wheel drive. That's just me. But hey, it depends on what they're using the trucks for. This truck does have a lot of good options. If you get the Laramie, obviously you get reflective style LED headlights and fog lights. This truck does have a 360 camera system too. You can see the cameras built into the mirrors. And this is a cabin chassis. Now this truck is not even $80,000 MSRP. That is a good price. I mean, of course you have to add your bed on it, whatever, but still a good deal for something like this. And look at all the features you get. I wish I could show you the interior, but the truck is locked. But just really quickly, just take a look. Like I said, it's hard to see it, unfortunately, but yeah, this truck's only $76,585. I'll show you guys the window sticker. You get the same treatments as you would on the regular truck. And most of the time when I look at these trucks, if you are ordering one, you'd be crazy not to go ahead and get the dual fuel system. I mean, you might as well just do it. This has a DEF tank. It's a little bit bigger on the cabin chassis. Here's the tank down there, so you can go a lot further with it too. I think I counted 11 leafs on the other truck here, so we'll just count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 still. You do have 2 overload leaf springs, your bump stops here, and I mean, look at the hardware on this suspension. Like, check this out. That is some big, heavy lifting suspension. And then look at it on this truck. It's totally different. The frame is a lot smaller. And I can tell that these frames have been sitting for a little bit, because the silver truck that I showed you guys is a little bit nicer, a little bit more, has a little bit more gloss to it. So these trucks probably been sitting waiting for chips, or maybe just waiting for parts. I mean, because I mean, this is a Laramie package, so I mean, it could have been waiting for parts too. But overall, great design. I mean, I love the 19.5-inch wheels too. This is the way to go. If you got a big 25,000 pound trailer, horse trailer, whatever you're towing, this is truly the way to go. 225, 70, 19.5. These are the Hankook tires. Here's some of the specs for them right here. 14 ply. Single rear wheel is 3,970 pounds per. If you do a dual setup, it'll be 3,750 pounds. 110 psi is cold. And there you have it. I mean, this is a good option to have. I'm going to show you guys the window sticker here in a second. But like I said, I just wanted to show it to you in all of its glory. Check out that big old axle back here. I believe this is a Dana axle. And they still put sway bars even on the cabin chassis. For some reason, I thought that they took them off. I knew they always put the front one on, but they still have them on here. They still give you shock absorbers, but you will need to add weight to this truck. This truck's gonna ride like crap if you drive it like this. It's just gonna be terrible. There is no air suspension option too. But I don't think you would ever need it, because I mean, these trucks, I mean, the suspension on here, I said in the last video too, I'll say it again, it's different from the 3500s. It's way more stronger, tougher than what you see on the 3500s. All right, I answered my question. So I was wondering if these did come with LED taillights. The SLT that I did a review on, it did not have LED taillights. It had incandescent bulbs in here. This one definitely does have LED taillights. So I guess if you get the LED lights like they come standard on this Laramie, I'm not sure if the SLT has them, but if you can get LED on the SLT, it may upgrade those out back. But most people don't even use those, because when they put a bed on it, they probably get in the way. But let's go ahead and take a look at the window sticker, and then I'm going to see if I could build one of these online for you so you can get a good price comparison. And I'll show you some of the options that I would pick for this crew cab. So here's the window sticker of the truck we just reviewed. It is going to be that 5500 chassis Laramie crew cab, 60-inch cab to axle with a 4x2. Base price is $46,135. And then here's some of your standard equipment, and then your optional equipment starts below here. Now this $9,710 is basically the Laramie package. And then on the other side, your options continue. Be sure to pause if you like. If you do want the 489 axle, you do have to click max tow package, which is $695. And then that heavy duty front suspension does increase your gross axle weight rating up front. And then your Laramie level 1 equipment group is $995. And then your most expensive options are basically the Cummins and the Eisen. And then wrapping everything up with destinations at $1,795 with a total price of $76,585. For some reason, Ram does not have that Laramie's VIN encoded in the system, so you can see the payload and towing numbers. But nevertheless, this SLT should give you a good idea. So if that truck has the 489 axle 4x2, the numbers are going to be similar to this. Figure they're going to be probably 800 pounds less on the payload, since you have a lot more options, and this is going to be a base SLT, and figure your towing capacity is going to go down a little bit too. As far as the cab to axle, this is going to be the 60-inch. There is an 84-inch available with the crew cab. Now as far as the gross axle rating up front, it is going to be $7,250 since you have the upgraded front axle or heavy duty front axle. And 13,500 pounds is going to be the rear. So this truck can tow basically 34,640 pounds. This is going to be the towing capacities for that 84-inch cab to axle length. So just keep that in mind too. So really quickly, here's the Laramie. If you want four-wheel drive, it is pretty expensive. So this would be the MSRP for that. And then this is for 4x2. Now the cab to axle 84-inch is not a huge increase, so just keep that in mind too. So $60,135 compared to $59,935. So we're going to build the truck without four-wheel drive, and we're going to do it with the 60-inch cab to axle. Now if you want that Cummins, it's going to be $89.95. They make you choose an upgrade for the alternators or for the electrical. So we're going to just go ahead and click that dual alternator, and we're going to hit choose. So you guys can go with the black or the Mountain Frost, and we're gonna go with the Mountain Frost. I think that interior looks good. So you're gonna get that 19.5 GVWR as you saw, and if you want the 49, you do have to click the max tow or the payload upgrade package. Okay. Moving on down, you do have a manual Dpf Regeneration. Now I said this in the last video, if you click this, some people think that if you get this, you're just adding it to the standard 52-gallon tank, and that is totally wrong. This is basically deleting that 52-gallon tank and giving you just a 22-gallon midship fuel tank. So if you want the 74 gallons, you have to choose this. A lot of dealerships don't know that, so they order the trucks thinking that they're giving the customer basically the additional tank, and that's not how it works. And moving on down, here's a few other things. You do have a voltage monitoring automatic idle up system. You can get those chrome tow hooks. And then I would definitely get this. This is the engine shutdown timer. And if you would like a left side power takeoff or just their standard one, you do have that option. When you're building a truck like this for this little bit of money, I would definitely add the power takeoff.
And here's a few other things here. Cold weather, it's good to have the engine block heater. One thing I strongly recommend is, really looking through these features and like just making sure you understand each one. If you would like the Laramie level 1 and level 2, you do have an option for each one. I mean, these are pretty expensive, but this is a good one because it gives you the ventilated front seats. You have a safety group with some nice features for safety. Just be sure to pause it here. Then you have that tow mode for your rear view mirror. Towing technology group. This is a good one to have. And moving on down, you cannot get any low volume colors with the higher trim levels. I actually don't mind this truck with the billet silver. Looks good. And LED taillights. This truck that we just reviewed did have those. And if you would like that painted front bumper, it's only $95 for that, and it looks a little bit nicer. Get rid of some of the chrome. And the truck already has 19.5-inch wheels. Now, I didn't show this to you in the last video, but you do have other tire options. So these are the standard. They also have an all-position rear traction, and then they have off-road tire. So I don't think it's going to change much of anything that you're going to see here. But for $995. They are G-rated tires, so I mean it seems to be a good upgrade, especially if you need that if you're going off-road a little bit. You can get a full-size spare, and then they do have the chrome flat cab length side steps. I would definitely skip those. I'm surprised they don't offer the power deployable, but I think because of where the DEF tank is, it might not allow you to have that option since it's a little bit bigger. Now you can get the bucket seats up front, which would make it a 5-passenger. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I do like this overall interior color. So you get the center console, and here's just a good view of the interior since I didn't have a chance to show it to you guys. I like the fact that they do make the roof darker too. Alright, so moving on down, 12-inch display is $21.95, and it does come with the navigation. And you do have all of the floor mats. Now, I didn't mention this in the last video, but you can do black vinyl flooring in the truck, and I would strongly recommend you do that if you do plan on using this for a farm. This is just a good option because you can just wash it all out, and it doesn't cost you anything to do that, although they save some money on you if you do that option. Here's a few of the things that you can do with this truck, and that's pretty much it. So all in, I don't think that's a bad price point for a pretty decked out cabin chassis truck that can tow over 30,000 pounds and have over 10,000 pounds of payload capacity. But I hope this was helpful, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.